Good evening, everybody. Here we are. It's another Wednesday. Flying by. Ace is in the house. And there's Belt Loop 29. We got Bill of My Alaska. And that's all that's in here so far. I'm sure more will be here. Yeah. And there's Old Man King Homestead and Todd Legendist. That's LJ Woodworks. Nice work. I really like that inlay of the epoxy. Not epoxy. It's not epoxy. What is it? Why can't I think of it? Resin. Hey there, Johnny, as in Johnny Lays Crafts. And there's James Hall. Now I can't see. James Hall is the Shade Tree Cook. That is his new channel name now. It was last week. That was the first time I noticed it. There's the Moose. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you all for coming in. So we got 13 people in the house. I did put the link in the top of the chat. Please no crazy people this week. There's Tony, our cabin in the woods. So this week was more of the same. Mama is still in the hospital, but the last I heard, and I didn't really get any information today. My dad and my sister went up. They my sister had stayed overnight, and my dad went up and picked her up because he left her the day before. So I plan on going there myself tomorrow. Let everybody have a break. She is doing better. The last I heard, they're thinking about taking her staples out on Friday and potentially coming home on Friday. But like I said, I don't have the update as of today. I don't have today's update. I had yesterday's update. But she is doing better. Let's see. There's Reverend Joe Jacobson's in here. And I think I saw Rebecca. There's Rebecca Touched by Yarns in here. Well, I'm cautiously optimistic. There's the potential for, like I said, for her to come home on Friday, and then we can start, getting her moving around and stuff. She's been in a hospital. You know what? I don't even know when she went in. It seems like so long ago. But she's been in and out since I think the 21st of August or September. I think her biggest gap was 9 days she was home, and then for the most part, she's been in the hospital, either in the ICU or a regular hospital or up there at Buffalo General. Buffalo General's, that's an hour and a half away, so we have to really plan our travels to between the three of us. There's only my sister, my dad, and I who are juggling that visit time. I will never make the mistake of driving to Buffalo when it's raining and dark. That was white knuckle. For a farm boy, it was. Troy Sutton in here. I see him. Somebody said hi to him. Troy. I don't see that it's. I don't see it's Troy Sutton. Or did they say Tony and I read it as Troy? Hey, there's Johnny Gillum. Troy as in Bar Run Forge is in here? Did he change his logo again? Because I'm not seeing him. Let's see where he is. I don't see him. But how you doing, Troy? Hope you're having fun with all those activities that you had planned. Both you and Johnny, my buddies, have gone off and been on road trips and all kinds of stuff this month. There it is. There he is. So we've pretty much been dealing with my mom. The grapes were done last week, so that's over with. It's been raining the last 2 days, so nothing I can do outside. So somebody come up and talk about something, because I got nothing. Unless you want to hear me talk about hospital stuff all day. Dexter's had enough of hospital talk. He misses Mama. He goes upstairs and runs all over the place looking for her. Indiana sales were good right now. Mostly trucking and harvesting. Yeah. Nice. Hardknack Farms is in here too, and I think I missed. What did I see? Ford and Farm Mall. If you're in here, hi. I think I saw you. I'm not sure. I know you were in MT Homesteads live. So we're starting to get cold. We're having 50-degree days now. So the grass isn't even growing anymore, which is good because we haven't had a chance to get to it. It does need to be mowed, but it's passable. We definitely have to get on that the next couple of days, because if the grass is on the tall side, it'll collect those leaves and hold it like Velcro. And then they won't blow through like they're supposed to. Heather Landskron's in here. Why is Heather Landskron's N missing on the end of her channel name? Has it always been that way? Old Path Woodworks is in here. Yeah, they came home. My sister and my dad came home, and they're just exhausted, especially my sister. She was trying to go to sleep, but she's in pain, probably from sitting on those hospital chairs all day long. It was 38 here this morning, but it warmed right up. 38 in Oklahoma? You live up in the hills, though. Well, no, the valley would be cooler. Brian, we're still waiting on the new video from I did not Well, I did not do any video for harvest this year because we were at the hospital in Buffalo. So I did a short and that was it. I meant to do more, but that last day that they were even picking here, we were gone. We didn't even see this property during that day. So, but I have 3 videos of harvest if anybody wants to see that. They can just type in the Vineyard Farmhouse and grape harvest and it'll pop up. $41. Yeah, we're getting a lot of rain. Are you guys getting a lot of rain down there in the Oklahoma area? I proved you can drive absolute junk for 3,000 miles. Yeah, you can if you prepared it well enough. We did drive all the way across country in a 1965 Mustang that just had its engine and transmission replaced. I was 28 years old when we did that. Was a while ago. That was a while ago. $34 degrees in Alaska. Oh, is everybody cold now? I don't know that our temperatures were that low. Or those were morning temperatures. Where are we at right now? Just because he drove on a cracked engine. Yeah, what did you do about the leaking engine? I watched the first video of your part 1, part 2, part 3, but I haven't watched anybody. The only video I've watched was probably Todd Legend's LJ Woodworks this last probably 5 days. And the car was terrible. Oh. Without a panel in the car. Without a panel in the car. Oh. All your interior panels were gone? I've driven around a truck for a while without any interior. They even had a bucket for the driver's seat for a while. Not on the road, but yeah, I've been through all that. I really have to dig out that video. Well, it was actually on the small VHS tapes, and I took a full detailed video of that truck that I remodeled. I'm very glad that I did that, and I hope it doesn't break when I try to transfer it to the computer, because it could. Some of those old tapes, although those tapes have been stored in a pretty well climate controlled space this whole time, so they should be fine. They've roughly been in 70-degree temperatures their whole life. I changed the engine to an old, yeah, that's right. That's right. That was supposed to be the next video that I didn't watch yet. Well, I'll catch up on it. Kevin Ellis is in here. Does Frankie own that truck now, Brian? Frankie? Does Frankie? No, but the guy who did buy the truck off of me, well, this was a while ago. I mean, we're talking about I think I had it. I think I sold it in 95, 96. So we're talking about a long time, 20 years ago, at least almost 25 years ago. But the guy who did buy it, he was barreling down the road with it, saw all these ambulance lights and everything, and he just kept driving and then hit the freaking tree that all the emergency workers were trying to get out of the middle of the road and rip the fender off of it. It's like, what an idiot. I love those old GTOs, but I prefer the 65 to all the others. It says belt loop. OP. What's OP? OP. I don't know what that is. I missed the thread on that one. Okay. One day I hope to have another GTO. We'll have to wait a bit. Working too much these days. Belt loop. Yeah, I did. I bought another truck. It was a 1997 Ford pickup, short bed, regular cab, flare sides, something I always wanted. I wanted it since they came out brand new. And I said, I'm going to have one of those one of these days, even if it's 20 years old when I get it. And that's what I did. I found one and I was so excited about it. It looked exactly like what I wanted to have. And I worked on that sucker, could not figure out why the engine light wouldn't go out. And because the engine light wouldn't go out, they wouldn't give me an inspection sticker. So I finally gave up on it. Finally realized that, I don't have time for this crap right now. So I just sold it. Didn't make anything off of it, but at least it was out of my hair. I did a video on that too that I never released. I used to have a 17EL Camaro. And once I had the 66 truck, Chevy truck. That was, you know what? The truck wasn't the only thing I redid. I did do a 1981 dually truck without the bed on the back. It was just the frame. And it was a diesel, and I switched it to gas operated. Gas. And yeah, I used to do stuff like that. But, if I had to do it again, I'd have to relearn it all again. I would have forgotten all that stuff. But I changed out all the wire looming and everything. And then there was a 1975 Ford van that I completely stripped the windows. I gutted it completely. We also switched that from we put a new engine in it and changed the transmission. It was an automatic, and we turned it into it was a standard shifting, and we changed that to a automatic. So I did the wire loom on that apparently. And we changed out the transmission on it. I didn't do that, but I did that kind of stuff on the Ford truck. But I actually stripped that out, all the interior, all the exterior, and sanded it down and bondoed it and painted it. I painted it with primer, and then I painted it with a gray paint that looked like primer. But it was all Rust-Oleum. It was a truck I planned on using for, I guess I was planning on using it for my everyday vehicle. And I had all the interior pieces from an other van. I got pieces out of junk vehicles, and I was really doing it up. I had carpet, and I was going to carpet the walls and all that stuff. And I got it pretty close. I mean, all the windows were new, or not new, but replacements from a better vehicle. And then I ended up selling it. I had enough of it at that point, and I just sold all that stuff off. I did a bunch of stuff to Trans Am, junkyard, engine, clutch, brakes. Well, you know how to do that all firsthand. When I was doing that stuff, and I did it, I honed out the engine. I did all the scrubbing on it. I painted the engine and changed rocker. I forget all that stuff. I changed the what are those rods? All I know is chucking rods, but those rods, I replaced all those, and I did a lot on that engine. But it was all, my cousin was kind of working on his own project, because it was right here in the barn when before this room was all made and stuff. We'd both work on stuff like that, and he would show me what to do, and I did it. It's an experience, and I think it's a good experience any young man should go through, is do up a car. Do up your first car. Although my first car was a Pontiac 1000 manual. That car was funny because I used it a lot when I was driving to college, and I came home one day during a a snowstorm, and I noticed that it seemed like the floor was lifting. The floor pan was lifting. What a weird sensation, and I just couldn't figure out if I was imagining it. But when I got home and was able to inspect it, the floor pan had like these rotten holes underneath it, and the snow packed up underneath the carpet, and the carpet was raising on me. So I think that was the last winter before I got rid of that. But it was a good little car. It got me I went to college. I went to college in Columbus Art and Design for the first 2 years, and then when I came back, I just went part-time and finished up with an associate's at Jamestown here. And got me through the rest of the college. Slap one together with a carburetor and hit the open road. I got offered $23,000 for the TA at Duct Tape Drag. I declined. Yeah, because he knew what you had, and you apparently did too. Back in high school, I used to help my neighbor work on his 69 GTX with a Hemi in it. Yep. It really is a good experience for anybody in their early teen or their teens and their early 20s to work on something like that. Really helps with your strategy. Yeah, Johnny, restored, it is worth twice that. Oh, I'm sure. As long as he didn't do the wheel bearings. Okay, I lost the thread on that. I drove the TN through OKC and El Reno without brakes. What? Without brakes? And the headlights going on and off because the dimmer switch was shortened. It'll fix itself as you drive. Don't worry about it. That's what we said when we were driving across country in that 65 Mustang. Pitting, ting, ting. What was that? That was just the engine mount bolts. It's okay. It'll make it. They need a pot stirring emoji. So what are your plans with that Trans Am? Are you going to deck it out, or are you going to kind of keep it duct taped? I had no brakes. I used the 4-speed to slow myself until we got to the hotel, and I put a master cylinder on it the following day. Oh, is that the way it was? You were changing stuff out as you go? That's kind of what we did too. At one point, we had to wait in a parking lot because it was in the middle of the night, and we had to wait until stores opened so we can get some wrenches. It's probably that 10 millimeter. Although they didn't use 10 millimeters then, did they? That's just a joke. Yes, rebuilds on the road. I hope you got videos of that. You under the hood while you're in the middle of your trip. That's what the e-brakes is for? Well, maybe, Johnny, you should have taken the floorboard out and you could have used feet. He who stands on the toilet is high on a pot. What is that in reference to? No spoon sticker emoji either? Because he who stirs the pot should have licked the spoon. Emergency brakes don't work. Not after you blow them out the first time. My first car had a hole in the passenger floorboard. Was large enough to put a 6-pack of drinks on the road from inside the car. Well, there you go. You could have spray foamed in a cooler. I wish the e-brakes would have been working, but it doesn't. What's e-brakes? Oh, emergency brakes. You know it's homemade when you lick the spoon and it tastes like taste. Spoon to test the taste. Mm-hmm. And here I was thinking this, they started something like an electric brake. I'm obviously not up to date. I actually thought that too, belt loop, but for a second I thought that. It's like, plywood's in here. I missed the notification. Hi, everybody. That's okay. You come in anytime you want. Always welcome. Plywood, 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 everybody says. Got 20 people in the house. Must be something about this time of the year. It doesn't seem to be that people are watching lives as much. I've noticed a lot of lives have a lower viewer count. I wish I had more to talk about this week. Dexter's always uneventful. He can tell you about all the different places he fell asleep in. That's about it, right, Dexter? Have we ever seen him awake in my life? I might change the handle to marble. Wait, I might change my handle to marble. My mother was known best to my grandpa as Rockhead. Busy. I just got home for like 40 minutes ago. Had to go set up deer camp. Yeah, it's that time of year. The viewership's going to go down. People are going to be out. Well, not at 10 o'clock at night, they won't be. Or 9 o'clock for most of you Central people. I got to run. A few things to do before going to bed. Have a great night, everyone, says Bill. Good night, Bill. Have a good one. Almost 7 p.m. here. Alaska. This week is the most This weekend is muzzleloader season. Yep. Yep, I think I remember Troy talking about that. Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Brian? How you been?
You guys left me up here a long time tonight. That's okay. I think I still stumble over these comments, reading them out. But hell, I'm gonna have to get over it.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little rough. Of course, because you're looking there, and then the comments are over there, so you're constantly doing this number, and
on top of that, I'm dyslexic, so I have to. It flips on me. I'll be reading it, and I read words that aren't there, and so I stumble on that stuff. But practice makes perfect, and I have gotten a lot better. If this was a year or two ago, I wouldn't even attempt to read the comments. So it is getting better.
Yeah, that's good.
So I saw that was pretty cool. I guess I never really thought about just pouring the resin onto it like that, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, just use a carbide cutter to create the channel, and I actually grabbed it. The wife's
And
already
it creates its own shape because the way that turned out.
Wife's already got it loaded up.
Wow! Don't leave that out on the porch. You're either taken or busted.
But there's what the top ended up like.
Yeah, that's
pretty
sharp.
Decent color separation.
I can't see it, but how did it form around the knob, the resin? Did it do a pretty good job?
Yeah, it filled in real good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, filled in real good. And of course, the other week I did this one.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I can't wait to get on to doing stuff like that. I can't even say it's been hectic. It's just been.
Oh yeah, you've had a lot going on.
It's just
constantly driving back and forth to Buffalo, and
I will admit that my sister and my dad gave me that break, whether that's what they were doing or if it's just the way it worked out. But I had 2 days that I haven't done that. So tomorrow, and I haven't even talked to him because he came home and went to bed. He hasn't even answered his text.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, which that's how we've been communicating. We don't want to wake anybody up. So we text and then they can answer it when they wake up. But tomorrow I'll go up there by myself so they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want to leave my mom there by herself for too much. Because, I have no idea what it's like to be in a hospital bed like that because I've always had, what do they call it? Outpatient situations. So it was usually go in, you go under anesthetic, you recover, and you're out of there. That's all I've ever done.
Take care, Belt Loop.
My mom's been in there for a lot. And this last stint's been, I don't even know what day it's all a blur, but I think she's been in there for almost 2 weeks now. Because she went in, she was there for a couple of days to the ICU. She went in an emergency room, they put her in the ICU. And then she was there for a couple of days, and then they transferred her to a room down in the lower, just a regular room.
Yeah.
She was there overnight. I stayed over with her overnight, and that morning/afternoon, they made the decision that she had to have surgery. So then she went to another room after she recovered from that, and then they were having issues with her heart. So then they wanted to rush her to Buffalo General, and she's been in Buffalo General since I think last Wednesday.
Wow.
So not fun for her at all, but the Lord is taking care of us, I think. And none of us have gotten like all crazy in the mind or anything about it. We're just doing it. We're just taking care of it and doing it. But
Yeah. Well,
So
they'll get her fixed up, and then she'll get back home.
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm optimist. I am cautiously optimistic because there's several things that are trying to monitor right now, like blood clots, which anybody who was laying in a hospital bed for a week at a time you'd have to be concerned about that because she's not moving any.
Yeah.
Very little movement. They put her in a chair here and there, and then they put her back in the bed. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll go up there tomorrow. Probably spend most of the day with her.
What are you doing to kind of keep your mind off of it? You doing anything to keep yourself busy, I guess would be the best way to put it?
Well, yesterday I wasn't feeling good. And today I did a couple of things around the house. I mean, because I've started remodeling some of my house since the house got resided and new windows and all that stuff. So I did do some things I had to prepare for, miscellaneous stuff. And I put out a short. That was kind of a funny short.
The helicopter?
The behind the scenes of that short was pretty funny. And I'm not making fun of my dad because it's just funny. Because we were driving down the thruway and we saw this trailer ahead of us. And we had my two nephews came up from South Carolina to see Mama and stuff. So they were going with us. And we were talking about this helicopter on the trailer and now granted, my dad's got a lot on his mind, so he's probably not listening to this story that's going on between us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were about to pass it, and when one nephew goes, "Oh, you should get a video clip of that," and I said, "Yeah, I've been waiting for us to go past it, so I was going to do that." And I grabbed my phone. All of this, you would think my dad would have heard us doing, and all this stuff. And just as I clicked the camera on my dad says, "I got to get past this," and I went, and he so the video clip. The actual video clip is only 1.5 seconds. and the whole story or the laughing that happened after that was pretty funny. I don't think my dad was laughing too much because it was on him. Mm-hmm. But I understand. He wasn't paying attention to what we were talking about. But it was just funny because when
Tony's taken off and Old Pass taken off.
Edit the video clip, I had to take what was 1.5 seconds and turn it into 16. So it was just funny. I even had to play it going one way and play it going the other way just to make it long enough to be a video.
Mm-hmm.
They're still talking about vehicles in the...
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to see if I can find it here real quick. Hey, it was still up. Show this off.
Oh, that's nice. That was the color of my truck.
Yeah. That was I got that in 2006, fixed that up. And then that's when I was in Hawaii, stationed down there.
Yeah.
And I sold it before I went to Iraq, but...
Did you do anything to it, or is it what's the story on it?
Oh, it came. Let's see. You're gonna make me pull more pictures. Let's see if I can find it here.
Sure. I like hearing those.
All right. This is how I got it.
Nice. Are those graphics or is it?
No, that is like somebody had started. Somebody had sprayed it with a rattle can, mostly black, but like ran out. So the person that I got it from started.
On the road?
What's that?
Isn't that the way most of them look on the road? People are trying to remodel stuff, and it's always half black primer and half gray primer, and you see the Bondo, sanded Bondo on it.
Let's see if I got any. That might be a decent one. So that was along the way. So that's after I got all the other multicolors off of it.
Yeah, is that primer?
That's primer.
Oh, nice tires on it too. Aluminum?
Centerline rims. About all I knew about those. They were on the car. I never changed them.
Tony's leaving us. Good night, Tony.
Yeah. Oh, Leanne Gunther came in.
Leanne Gunther, I didn't. Yeah, I did. She was way up in the beginning, wasn't she?
Was she?
You know what? I don't know. Yes, she was.
There's Pilato.
Yes, she's. Pilato's in here.
Hey, Roy.
Pilato. Yeah, Leanne Gunther was here within the first probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, those were the other old cars I had. I had a 72 Nova, 71 Nova, and a 67 Mercury Cougar. So then I had a whole bunch of throwaway cars when I was real young.
You know, there were other vehicles that I worked on. I did have a what year was that? Probably a 1984 Cougar.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it for $600. And then on further inspection, somebody had gotten mad and must have smashed the dashboard all up.
Mm-hmm.
So they replaced the dashboard, but none of the stuff was hooked back up in there. All the wires were all just shoved in there. And half the stuff was missing, like the air vent louvers and stuff like that. So I worked at getting all that stuff repaired and stuff, and I think one of the what is the leaf spring? You got the coil spring, and it's mounted up in the, just as you open up the hood, you see where they're mounted. That was busted through on one side, so that had to be repaired.
Oh.
And the rack of pinion. But I think I sold it for $2,000 when I was done with it.
Nice. Yeah, I made a good bit off that Corvette when I let it go, but like I said, from Hawaii I was going to Iraq, and from Iraq I was going back to Japan, so I didn't have much use for it. It's like,
yeah. I'm trying to think of what the other. I had several vehicles that I had come in and out of my life that I worked on and put them on their way, sent them back out on their way.
And Johnny says he's a fan of primer, mismatched panels, and just generally looking driven.
I think it's kind of cool to see a vehicle that's this, like, outside needs to be painted and all, just like he was talking about, but then they've got these nice rims on it and the tires, and you look inside and the interior's pretty sharp looking, and they got a new steering wheel, and I don't know, there's something about that where you just work on the comfort parts of it.
Yeah, with that Corvette, that's how I did it. I did the inside first before I got around to the outside.
Well, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking more like a truck that has the patina look, but the rims and the tires are fresh, and all the important stuff is done, but the body's kind of seen better days.
Mm-hmm.
Tough to drive from Hawaii to Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a little rough. Made of blackberry, raspberry, and jalapeno.
What?
What shade tree talking about?
You can fix a bunch of stuff to an old car for how much you would spend a month on a new car. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
That was my intention with the last truck I bought. I thought, he goes, it really isn't necessary for us, my dad and I, to have two brand new vehicles. So my intention was to have, we always have at least one brand new vehicle, but to have a secondary vehicle be one I worked on. And then, whoever's left behind, if somebody goes on a vacation or trip, they have something that they can jump in and go to the grocery store or a doctor's visit or something.
I don't know if I could live without cruise control nowadays.
It had cruise control. I don't know if it worked, but it had it. I only got to drive it home. I drove it home, and I think I drove it to the inspection, and I drove it back, and that was the only time I drove it.
No.
And it drove well. I mean, I drove it for an hour and a half to get home because we bought it. It was in Pennsylvania, about almost 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're talking about making jams.
We don't have any new vehicles. The newest thing we have is a 2012 with 336,000 miles. Man, you don't hear about that kind of mileage very often.
My company cars, we keep our company cars till we get to 150,000, and it's typically around 2.5 years when we turn those in. And Dave's making a cranberry plum spice jam. That sounds good. It's a Honda that lasts forever. Yeah. Hondas and Toyotas. I was watching a YouTube video about that. They were talking about basically what Honda and Toyota did was they built a car for the everyday person who doesn't do maintenance.
The Dexter. That's how he's doing, Hardneck. That's what he does.
He's moved a couple times. He's changed positions a couple times.
I mean, if you go do something or we're doing something active, he's all in. But man, if he's still for 5 seconds, he's out.
He looks really comfortable.
Might have to try that one. Those were all separate.
I think they're talking about the jams.
The jams?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I got to do. I got to go out and pick some grapes because we have an acre of grapes that we're not going to get picked. So I'm going to go out there and pick some. So my mom said that when she gets out of the hospital, she wants to make some juice. So
what do you do with all the grapes that don't get picked? You just leave them out there and let the birds get them?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, if we had picked them and took them down there and we were above our quota, well, they would have had us dump them. So, no, nothing really happens to them. Because, I don't know, this year they started doing that last year, but we didn't, hit that quota that would have put us into that situation, but this year we did, which isn't that bad.
So is it a by weight thing?
It's based on a combination of your tonnage, your history average of your tonnage and the acreage you have. So, but what did happen that was kind of nice is we got up to our quota. Let's say I think it was 253 was our allotment, or what we were allowed to pick and deliver. But because the truckload the last truckload we picked before we would have come close to hitting that quota was 248 ton, then that bumps us into allowing a whole other truckload, which is 20 ton. So we got 27 something or 270 something.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty good because our record year was 327 or something like that. And that was like something that never happens. We don't get that kind of tonnage. We usually average around 200 to 250.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you took all the years, because there's some years you get 150 ton. Because one of your vineyards frosted out.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
It's a gamble, just like anything else that's farm related, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pilato says he had a 78 Honda Civic hatchback with a form of cruise control. The control was to push the accelerator to the floor, and it could cruise at 63 miles an hour. Plywood's first car that had cruise control was his 68 Satellite. Plywood's actual first car was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone style. Yep.
I was making Lisa's jalapeno and jalapeno from Lazy Days Ahead recipe. Oh, okay, not the jalapeno.
That's the jam recipe.
I won some of her jam, and I think I got the dandelion and the. Can't remember what the other one was. But oh wow! So it is 11 o'clock here or 10 o'clock Central, and you're gonna want to go over and check out what Old Man King Homestead's got going on. That's Peter, and I want to thank everybody that's in my chat and my moderators for protecting my channel, and thank you, Todd, for coming up on panel. And you don't have to go unless you want to. But we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central. Bye for now.